Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is all about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationship advice channel. And we have something here. It's a crime story, which I use crime stories as a teaching tool. So we're going to get into this beautiful young lady that died by the hands of a pimple face killer. Yes. First, I'm going to start off by reading a timeline. And then I'm going to also show some clips. And then I'm going to also get into this trifling mother right here. Yes, this trifling mother. I'm a little sick and tired of these enablers. Yes, I am. Very much so. But right now, I'm going to read this article. So first, let me read this article. And then we're going to get into the video clips, okay? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the like. Share the video out to your social media. And also, leave some feedback. All right. And to the people that's watching replay, leave some feedback and also hit the like button. All right. So let's get into this article. This article that came out, and make sure everyone please read the description so you get an idea of what, this whole discussion is all about. All right. Timeline. And this came out in, oh gosh, I only know Marketplace. I believe it's Marketplace article. And this came out in... When did this article come out? Okay, this article came out in August 17, 2022. Timeline. Event of the disappearance death of the Florida 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey. That's the beautiful lady you see, Tristyn Bailey. The body of Tristyn Bailey, 13, a 7th grader at the Patriot Oaks Academy in St. John's, was discovered Sunday, May 9, 2021. Hours after the family was reported her missing, she was stabbed 114 times by this lowlife that you see. This lowlife, yep. All right. Okay, where am I at? This is the timeline, ladies and gentlemen, I'm getting into. All right. Pimple Face Killer, who was 14 at the time of the death, has been arrested on first-degree murder charges in the death of Tristyn. His trial is expected to begin in November. What happened to Tristyn Bailey? Following is a timeline of events in this case. Saturday, May 8, 2021, 11:45 p.m. Tristyn Bailey's family returned home after the evening out for a celebration. Around midnight, Tristyn Bailey last seen by a sibling and was supposed to be sleeping in her bed. At 12:30 a.m., video shows Tristyn walking in the neighborhood. At 1:14 a.m., two people believed to be Tristyn Bailey and Pimple Face Killer were seen walking together. 1:45 a.m. Video evidence from the home shows Tristyn and Pimple Face Killer walking east on Saddlestone Drive. 3:30 a.m. Videos from the same home shows a person believed to be Pimple Face Killer heading in the opposite direction alone, wearing white Nike shoes. Moments later, video shows the Pimple Face Killer entering his home carrying white Nike shoes, which I will show you that video clip too. Resume reading. 10 a.m. Tristyn's mother calls 911 to report the teen missing, and neighbors began to search the area. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement joined search. At 4:49 p.m., Florida Missing Child Alert issued for Tristyn Bailey. At 6:06 p.m., a resident who has been on a run called to report a dead body in the woods east of the cattle sack on Saddlestone Drive. After identifying the body as Tristyn, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office called off the search. 8 p.m. Sheriff's Office announced the body found and identified as Tristyn Bailey. 8:49 p.m. Pimple Face Killer and his parents are placed in St. Johns County Sheriff's Office interview room. Monday, May 10th at 12:44 a.m. Investigators search the Pimple Face Killer's home, find a Buck brand knife, a pair of wet white Nike shoes with blood on them, a t-shirt with blood on it, a white piece of paper and handwritten with possible blood on it, and a pair of wet blue jeans in the laundry basket. They also found blood and dirt in the drain in the bathroom sink next to the Pimple Face Killer's bedroom. That was when the mother was trying to, dispose of the evidence. Yeah, that's what she was trying to do. But we're going to get into you. But let's resume reading. At 3:30 a.m., Aiden arrests on charge of second-degree murder. At 11:30 a.m., Sheriff's Office confirmed the identity of the body found that Tristyn Bailey and announced the arrest of Aiden Fucci, a 14-year-old classmate, on charges of second-degree murder. 14 years old and killed this 13-year-old classmate. Wow. Resume reading. 8:30 p.m. Candlelight Vigil honors Tristyn at a South Durban Crossing Amenities Center. Tuesday, May 11th. 8:30 a.m. Fucci charged with second-degree murder in the death of Tristyn Bailey, remanded to detention for at least 21 days in his first court appearance. 1:30 p.m. Sheriff's Office report that the chief medical examiner determined that the cause of this beautiful young lady's death is a sharp force trauma by stabbing, and that the video placed the pair walking near the scene in that time frame. Monday, May 17th. Andy Snubber, I hope I'm saying it right, hired to represent the 14-year-old suspect by his family, that's the Pimple Face Killer, filed to withdraw from the case. The motion is granted by the court. He filed to withdraw. Don't blame him. Resume reading. Tuesday, May 18th, 5 p.m. The Bailey family hold a public memorial service for Tristyn at the Celebration Church in Jacksonville. Thursday, May 20th. Judge approves motion to file on behalf of the parents of the Pimple Face Killer suspect and announce the suspect will be represented by a public defender office led by St. Augustine-based attorney Joshua Mosley. Thursday, May 27th. According to St. Johns County court documents, Pimple Face Killer will face first-degree murder charge as well as be charged as an adult. Friday, May 28th. During their first court appearance, Judge Harry Maltz ruled that the Pimple Face Killer be held without bail at the adult facility in St. Johns County. Thursday, June 3rd. Pimple Face Killer entered a plea of not guilty on first-degree murder. Really? Really, dude? Really? Resume reading. Saturday, June 5th, Crystal Lane Smith That's the Pimple Face Killer Dustet mother, Crystal Lane Smith. We're going to get into you. Resume reading. The mother of the 14-year-old Pimple Face Killer is arrested on a warrant charging her with tampering with evidence following the killing of Tristyn Bailey. Wednesday, July 14th. In a newly released document on the Fucci's friend said that he talked about killing people frequently. And that weeks before Tristyn's killing, this Pimple Face Killer said that he planned to murder someone by dragging a random person into the woods and stabbing them. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, this is so sad. It really is. It really is. All right, resume reading. I'm almost done, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you hit the like, please. Thank you. Monday, July 26th. Crystal Lane Smith plead not guilty to, that's the Pimple Face Killer Dustet mother. Crystal Lane Smith plead not guilty to charges of tampering with evidence. Thursday, October 28th. Aiden appeared in court. Judge Lee Smith grants a continuance filed for the Pimple Face Killer's attorney Joshua Mosley until February the 2nd. Wednesday, February 2nd, 2022. Pimple Face Killer appeared in the St. Johns County Court by a court for a pre-trial hearing. Trial set for November. Thursday, April 5th. Pimple Face Killer appeared in court with a new public defender, Rosemary Peoples, for a pre-trial hearing. The judge set a trial period of November the 7th to the 18th. Okay, that's the end of that article here. All right, so I'm going to show some clips. Beautiful lady. You died by the hands of one of Satan's children. Yes, yep. Mommy and Daddy laid down, and then they had Satan Jr. by the name of Pimple Face Killer Aiden Fucci. What a shame. And this is what he used to kill her with. Yep. So he has been out here basically like, well, he wanted to dispose of someone. Yep. That was his goal to do. And unfortunately, this young lady was in the hands of the victim by him. Beautiful girl. Beautiful girl. Innocent. Didn't do anything wrong. You know, families hurt, devastated. Yep. And on Mother's Day. Never could be able to celebrate Mother's Day. I know it's going to be so hard for the mother to celebrate Mother's Day, because she's going to always remember her baby. Her baby. And Daddy too. Yep. Alright, so let's get into this low-life piece of crap right here. Yep, we're going to get into him. Alright, so just give me a second here while I share the screen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this one. I will be showing some clips. And the different clips that I'm going to be showing, I'm going to show basically what was going on during the case. With him complaining about, you know, poor treatment in jail. See, another one that thinks he's entitled. He thinks he's entitled. You're entitled to nothing. Then I'm going to also show a clip because there was also, he went to trial. He was about to, you know, they was getting ready to go and pick the jury. But he decided to plead guilty, so he changed. Yep. And shout out to Rusty. Thank you for sending me the message and let me know the update, because I was like, oh, I need to know. So thank you, Rusty. That's to my mod. Blessings to you and hugs and kisses. So, and I believe next week, that's when he's going to be going to the sentencing. So I'll be showing that one. But right now, we're going to watch some news clips about what he did. Then you're going to also see the trifling mother. Yes, her. How she's trying to wash the clothes. Yeah, Yeah, wash the clothes. What a shame. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, sit back and relax, and let's get it. And make sure you hit the like, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. I greatly appreciate that, and thank you for coming. And to the peoples in the bushes, hugs and kisses to you, and blessings, and thank you for coming too. Let's get it.
The state attorney's office, disturbing new information in the case against Aiden Fucci, the 14-year-old accused of killing Tristyn Bailey. Prosecutors say Fucci stabbed the cheerleader 114 times. Fucci will now be tried as an adult on a first-degree murder charge.
And moments ago, the Bailey family released a statement saying they appreciate the thorough and comprehensive work that went into today's outcome. Fucci is being held at a juvenile facility in Daytona. He's being represented by the public defender's office. Bailey's body was found on Mother's Day near a retention pond in the Durbin Crossing subdivision, less than a half-mile from Fucci's home. News 4 Jax reporter Vic Michelucci was at the news conference with the state attorney, which just wrapped up about 30 minutes ago. Vic.
Kent and Mary, I also got my hands on the warrant here, the warrant for first-degree murder charges. Before we go any further, I do want to say one more time, the details here are disturbing. Talking to State Attorney R.J. Larissa, he said horrific could be seen as an understatement in this case. He has been working in this jurisdiction for decades, and he says he's never covered or had to work something as horrible as this. So let's go into the details that he released with us. 114 stab wounds. That's what the medical examiner found during the autopsy on Tristyn Bailey's body. 49 of those wounds were defensive. Now, we were there about a day later when detectives found the knife that investigators say was used in this murder in a pond. We have that exclusive video. I was there personally. This was about 7:30 in the evening when the dive team with St. County Sheriff's Office pulled that knife out. Today, for the first time, we learned from the state attorney that it was a folding knife. So a buck knife is how he called it, almost like a large pocket knife. He also said that the tip broke off. That tip was found during the autopsy with the medical examiner. Just one of many horrific details. We also learned that there was a lot of evidence, including bloody clothes and bloody shoes at Aiden Fucci's home. That home right around the corner from where Tristyn Bailey's body was found in the woods, which happened to be right next to that pond where the dive team recovered that knife. That home, also part of the crime scene. Detectives cased that for more than a day. Now, R.J. Larissa, the state attorney for St. Augustine, says he is disturbed, he is horrified by the details, and there is no doubt in his mind or anyone else on the case that this is first-degree premeditated murder.
The bottom line is that premeditation could be inferred, certainly, from just the sheer number of stab wounds that Tristyn Bailey had to suffer. Every time that arm went back, and every time that arm went down, that was premeditation. And it happened, if you times 114 by 2, that's 228. But it's not just the fact that she was stabbed 14 times.
Thank you, beautiful. Thank you for the blessing to the chat. Hugs and kisses to you, Angel. Thank you. Resume.
114 times. It's also information that we were able to glean from witnesses. The defendant made statements to several people that he intended to kill someone. He didn't say who that was, but he indicated to witnesses that he was going to kill someone by taking them in the woods and stabbing them, which are certainly the facts of this case.
And that news conference where we learned the new details came out, lasted for about 15 minutes. R.J. Larissa, the state attorney, as well as the chief detective, Detective Skip Cole, they were very open about the case, but they did not elaborate on the motive. They said they're still working on that. They're still trying to find out what happened leading up to this horrific murder. As far as Aiden Fucci, the 14-year-old behind all of this.
Well, I'll be darned. Adam done came through the back door, and hugs and kisses to you and blessing. Good to see you, good to see you. All right, resume.
According to investigators, right now he is at a Department of Juvenile Justice facility 2 counties south of us at Daytona Beach. But now that he is charged as an adult and he is charged with first-degree murder, he is going to be transferred to an adult facility. We don't know if that's going to be here at the St. Johns County Jail, which is a block away from where I am standing, or if it's going to be somewhere else because of his safety and because of the notoriety of the case. But they say that they will let us know. He is going to be rearrested on that first-degree murder charge. He will be booked into jail. He's going to go before a judge once again, and that'll probably happen within the next day. So we will keep you posted on that, as well as the other big developments in this case. For now, we are live in St. Augustine. I'm Vic Michelucci, Channel 4, the local station.
You know what, BG? I can't with you. I really can't. No more clearer cell for you. I'm done. Resume.
Thank you, Vic. And Tristyn Bailey's family issued a statement following today's update on the case. We each have copies of it, and we're going to read it to you. It says, we appreciate that today's outcome is directly the result of a thorough and comprehensive work from the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, along with the 7th District State Attorney's Office, as part of the initial steps to bring justice for Tristyn's murder. We would specifically like to recognize the Criminal Investigations Unit of the SJSO. We greatly appreciate the tremendous community outpouring from all parts of the world, particularly for those in St. John's that have helped from the Mother's Day search, the vigils, remembrances, and memorials, with the press conference sharing details of this heinous crime, the caring and love shown from the people and businesses to raise up the memory of Tristyn, and the resolve of our community serves as a beacon of light in the darkness. As shared in the celebration of life on the Battle of the Two Wolves, it helps us to feed the good wolf.
And they go on to say, we also would like to thank the Jacksonville media for respecting our privacy while we mourn the loss of Tristyn. A special thanks to News4Jax for live streaming the celebration of life to enable people globally to observe the service. We do ask for your continued respect for our privacy, as well as of Tristyn's teammates and her school. And as we move forward, we will seek to keep Tristyn's memory alive and the spirit of.
Tonight, new documents from the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office shedding light on the search for Tristyn Bailey and what happened when deputies started asking the suspect, Aiden Fucci, and his parents some very hard questions. Thanks so much for joining us tonight at 6 o'clock. I'm Jeannie Blaylock alongside Anthony Austin.
And we do want to warn you tonight, some of the details you're about to hear may be disturbing. Jessica Clark is on your side tonight with those details, joining us from the newsroom. And Jessica, that release also includes a report from the medical examiner's office.
Yeah, it does. And, you know, these are just some of the reports made available today in the large document release from the state attorney's office in the murder case of Tristyn Bailey. And what's inside includes an image suggesting violence against women, and it paints a disturbing picture.
More information revealed about 14-year-old Aiden Fucci and 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey in the early hours of May 9th. Court documents indicate Tristyn's family realized she was not at home the morning of Mother's Day during breakfast. They searched the entire house for her, and then her mother frantically called 911 to report her missing. While she was still missing, according to investigators' reports, Fucci changed his story with detectives at least once, ultimately saying he left a friend's house with Bailey the night before, that the two walked to her street in their Durbin Crossing neighborhood in St. Johns County, and that she tried to grab him, and he says he pushed her to the ground and she hit her head. Fucci also suggested to investigators, while Bailey was still missing, that she may have gone to meet a drug dealer. Investigators later found that drug dealer and determined he had nothing to do with the murder case. Later that day, a jogger in the neighborhood found a young girl's body, bloody, in the neighborhood's woods. The medical examiner's report released Wednesday indicates Bailey had been stabbed 114 times and had defensive wounds. That report also revealed the suspected weapon, a knife, was found in a pond only 140 feet from the body. The knife missing its tip. The tip found in Tristyn's scalp.
Keep going.
According to investigators' reports, during a search warrant in Fucci's home. Investigators found bloody clothes in his closet, as well as what is described as satanic images and violent drawings of women in his bedroom.
Now, many people are named in these documents, and
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard that. Violent drawings of women in his bedroom. 14 years old. Alright, let's get back to it. Hope you're all comfortable, because this is going to be a minute for this live stream. I really want to show all these clips, so hang with me. If you have to leave, come back and watch the replay. I understand everything. But try to hang with me if you can, ladies and gentlemen. And hit the like, and shout out to the people in the bushes. Blessings to you. Resume.
understand from previous news gathering that there are more than 250 potential witnesses in this case. Live in the newsroom, Jessica Clark, First Coast News on your side.
Jess, thank you. So let's talk more about these new documents. They are also shedding light on the night Aiden Fucci and his parents were inside of an interrogation room after Tristyn Bailey's body was discovered. Aiden's parents questioned him with no detectives in the room, but the audio and video devices, they were rolling. According to the report, his mother told him that Bailey was found in their neighborhood. The report says Aiden then asked, "Is she good?" The mother's response, "No, she's dead. It's all on you right now." The report says Aiden asked, "How is it my problem?" They reportedly said because he was the last one seen with her. The report also says the mother asked where Bailey went after they parted, and Fucci stated that she probably kept walking. His father asked, according to the report, "You didn't turn around to see where she went?" And he replied, "No." Now, according to the report, Aiden's parents told him to find his story and stick to it. He was arrested at 3:30 the next morning. His mother, Crystal Smith, would later be arrested, accused of tampering with evidence in this case.
New court documents in the Aiden Fucci case point to a surprise witness. Fucci is the teenager accused of killing 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey in May, charged as an adult with first-degree murder. News4Jax reporter Brittany Muller is live outside the Duval County jail where Fucci is awaiting trial because the St. Johns County Jail does not have a juvenile holding area. So, Brittany, what have you learned new about this new evidence in the case?
Targ, Joy, we do know this is where an inmate named Freddie Pandy made a call, and since all jail calls are recorded, that information has since been entered into evidence, but we don't know what was said.
The St. Johns County State Attorney's Office has turned over more discovery material to 14-year-old Aiden Fucci's defense attorneys, including a phone call Duval County jail inmate Freddie Pandy made. Why would prosecutors be interested in this conversation?
A lot of times inmates will talk to each other. Sometimes they'll make confessions. Sometimes they'll make spontaneous statements. And if something like that happened, and this particular inmate who made the call repeated that, because those lines are recorded and they can use any and everything against a person.
News4Jax crime and safety expert Ken Jefferson says since investigators took what Pandy said into evidence, it shows value for the prosecution.
We don't know if they're using informants. It could be someone that Fucci befriended once he got there, or it could be somebody that he knew once he got inside, and they had a conversation, and that conversation possibly was repeated.
Fucci will be tried as an adult for first-degree murder in the death of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey, who was found on Mother's Day in the Durbin Crossing subdivision. The autopsy report confirmed Bailey was stabbed 114 times. Many of those were defense wounds. Fucci's knife was found in a pond nearby Bailey's body. Detectives investigating the case found not only bloody clothes and sneakers in the bedroom of her accused killer, but also a notebook containing satanic drawings of a violent nature. Friends told investigators that Fucci said he was going to kill someone by stabbing them, and it was going to happen soon. Those threats were never passed on to deputies. Confronted with evidence hours after Bailey's body was found, Fucci admitted he pushed Bailey down after kissing her. She hit her head, then he said he walked away.
Aiden Fucci has waived his appearance for arraignment, and so did his mother.
This monster. Complete monster. Complete monster. Resume.
Live from the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
New surveillance video released in the Tristyn Bailey murder investigation. It shows what investigators say is her accused killer, Aiden Fucci, running in the middle of the night. The surveillance video was recorded the night sheriff's deputies say Fucci stabbed Bailey to death.
It was Mother's Day when the 13-year-old's body was found in a wooded area of the Durbin Crossing neighborhood in St. Johns County. News 4 Jax reporter Janice Harris is going through the 4 videos just released by the sheriff's office. Janice.
And I've had a chance to look at all of them. One video shows 14-year-old Aiden Fucci running from out of the woods where deputies say Bailey was found dead. And another video shows Fucci's mom washing a pair of jeans.
You see this trifling mother over there washing the jeans? I am so sick and tired of these parents being enablers to their demonic children. I really am. I really am tired of it. I know you're supposed to love your child and be there and support your child and everything. That's what parents are supposed to do. That's what God wants us to do. But we're not supposed to support some crap like this. You come in the house with blood on your clothes because you killed somebody, and I'm just going to say, okay, baby, it's all right. I'll wash your evidence and I'll take care of everything. This is what you do. No. You're getting the hell out of my house, and you're going to pay the consequences. And I will not support you. Not at all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get back to it.
It appears to be the same jeans that got her arrested for tampering with evidence in the investigation.
Tripping, dude.
According to investigators, this is video of Aiden Fucci after his schoolmate Tristyn Bailey had been murdered on Mother's Day.
Having fun in a cop car.
Fucci on the ride can be heard saying,
does this Pimple Face Killer look like he has any remorse? Does he regret what he did? Not at all. If he didn't get caught, he would have did this again. Just like that other Dusty I covered. You remember the other Dusty I covered? The one Nathaniel Rowland did his trial? Yeah, he did again. Another one. He stabbed her, Samantha something, I can't remember the last name. Stabbed over 100 times and stabbed this young girl over 100 times at 14 years old. You think I'm going to support that? Oh, Renee, I see you up in the house. Blessings to you, beautiful. Let's get back to it. Resume.
having fun in a cop car. Bailey's body would be found on Mother's Day. Just hours before Fucci was in the back of this deputy car, Fucci is seen running. This video is at 1:52 in the morning of Mother's Day. St. Johns County Sheriff's investigators say the person that was running is Aiden Fucci. Another video at 3:31 in the morning shows what appears to be a boy walking to a door barefoot holding a pair of shoes. A second image shows what appears to be the same person walking up to the house. This final video takes us inside Aiden Fucci's home. His mother is seen inside of a bathroom washing a pair of pants. Fucci's mother, Crystal Smith, would be arrested.
Do you see this trifling mother? She's washing his pants. Your son killed another person's child. Let's show the picture. Let's show the picture real quick. Your son killed this mother and father's daughter. Killed their daughter. Killed their daughter. Resume.
Arrested for tampering with evidence in Tristyn Bailey's murder investigation.
And we will continue to follow the story and bring you more.
Live from the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
Demons, a word accused murderer Aiden Fucci used in talking about his soul. The St. Johns County teen who's awaiting trial displayed bizarre behavior during his latest court appearance.
What's happening, Pimple Face Killer? You made a deal with the devil? If I do this, you clear up my skin? Didn't work, did it? Didn't work. Let's get back to it.
Why am I here? I just want to talk to my mom and dad.
He said, why am I here? I just want to talk to my mom and dad. Yeah. And we're supposed to feel sorry for you? Yep. Well, this beautiful girl is not here. She can't never talk to her mom and dad, can she? But you still can. You lowlife, you dusty. Resume.
Fucci, who is 14, is charged with stabbing 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey to death back in May.
The two attended school together at Patriot Oaks Academy and lived in the same neighborhood, Durbin Crossing. News4Jax reporter Corley Peel.
Good question, BG. I really don't know. I don't know exactly. You talking about when? I believe you're talking about when he was in that police car. I'm not quite sure. Resume.
Joining us from the newsroom to show us what happened in court today. Corley?
Fucci's lawyer filed a speedy trial waiver. Then the case was passed to next month. However, Fucci's unusual behavior did not go unnoticed. Aiden Fucci looks around aimlessly, appearing to be confused during court on.
Nikki, are you talking about all those toys in that living room when she was washing pants? I don't understand that. Well, she got a daycare? And if she do have a daycare, I think that's dangerous to have all those toys around like that with the kids. That was insane. I noticed that too, Nikki. Weird. All right, let's get back to it. Resume. Don't forget, everybody, hit the like.
Wednesday.
What got going on? Why am I here? I just want to talk to my mom and dad. What's going on? What's going on?
What's going on? I want to talk to my mom and dad. What's going on? Satan. What's going on, Satan? I did work for you. I thought you was going to look out for me. I thought you cared about me. You dance with the devil, you will get burnt by the devil. Yep, that's how it goes. Resume. What's going on? What's going on? I just want to talk to my mom and dad. Ooh, this boy pisses me off so much you just don't know. Resume.
He rocks back and forth and mumbles about demons.
What's going on? I don't want to hear you demons. I don't want to hear you demons take my soul. You demons want to take my soul away. I don't.
Yep, the demons did take his soul. Yep, you gone. You no good. You was born evil. You was born evil. You was talking about how you wanted to kill somebody, telling your friends, bragging about it. You got this girl, you pulled out then and you killed her. You're pure evil. And if you didn't get caught, you was going to do it again. You are a dusty, low-life, pimple face killer. You're no good. You're not going to amount to anything. You're nothing. You're nothing. And you're locked up for life. Yes, yes. All right, let's get... Yes, Nikki, the place is a disaster. Melvia, hugs and kisses. Let me see what she have to say. There's no way any of my kids would come to me after killing someone. They probably would feel safer with the police. I'm done. What did she say? They probably feel safer with the police. These mothers are smotherers and conspiracy is their reason for cover up. Well said. I gotta pin that comment. I have to, girl. I have to pin it. Let's get back to it.
No, you didn't steal my soul.
I spoke with attorney Gene Nichols, who is not affiliated with this case. Is it common for high-profile cases like this for the defendant to have a mental incompetency evaluation?
What you would see in most of these cases similar to this is, yes, you're going to have your client evaluated for competency, especially for a young person like this to have allegedly committed such an awful crime.
Forensic psychologist Dr. D'Arenzo is also not affiliated with this case. Do you think that this video warrants him getting a mental evaluation?
I do.
D'Arenzo says it's hard to determine the authenticity of Fucci's behavior just based on the court video.
He definitely looked disoriented and confused. From my perspective, it seemed genuine given that pattern of behavior today, and then what else we know.
Fucci is accused of stabbing his schoolmate Tristyn Bailey more than 100 times, killing her before she was reported missing. Her body was found on Mother's Day. Records show Fucci had a notebook with satanic drawings. His girlfriend told investigators he would hear voices in his head that would tell him to kill people. He also mentioned to friends he planned to kill someone, according to detectives. Nichols says a mental evaluation could drag out the case.
It can cost several months of waiting in order to debate competency.
At this time, the defense has not ordered Fucci to have a mental competency evaluation. Investigators have not said if he suffers from a mental disorder, and his pretrial hearing has been.
Nikki said, "Pimple Face does predator." Well said, girl. Well said. Reason.
Been moved to October 28th. Reporting from the newsroom, Corley Peel, Channel 4. The local station.
The different faces of Aiden Fucci, the 14-year-old charged with killing his schoolmate.
I think you need to say the different faces of Satan Jr. Yeah, the different faces of Satan Jr. Let's get back to it.
Tristyn Bailey has been under arrest since May, and since then we've seen several videos of him showing a range of emotions. And the most recent is this video of him in court yesterday talking about demons taking his soul. News 4 Jax reporter Corley Peel joins us live outside the Duval County.
BG said, should have put him in the K9 car and let them get a bite. Well said. I agree with that. Let's get back to it. Resume.
Jail now, where Fucci is being held on a first-degree murder charge, and she's showing us the differences in Fucci's demeanor. Corley?
These videos show a wide range of Aiden Fucci's emotions and a significant difference in his behavior from the first time he was questioned about Tristyn Bailey's murder up until now, as he sits in this jail. 4 different videos showing different versions of 14-year-old Aiden Fucci.
Listen to cop car, cuz.
This Snapchat video shows Fucci and a friend in the back of a patrol car. This was during the search for Tristyn Bailey, hours before her body was found with more than 100 friend Aiden, showing 14-year-old Aiden Fucci.
Listen to cop car, cuz.
This Snapchat video shows.
This Snapchat video burns me up. This is how he acted after he stabbed her 114 times. This man is a monster. This teenager is a monster. 14 times. Oh boy. And mama, you support this, mama? Mommy and daddy laid down and they had Satan Jr., the Pimple Face Killer. Yep, you. That's what we talking about, you. The Pimple Face Killer. Mad at the world because you look like crap. Let's get back to it. Resume.
Listen to cop car, cuz.
This Snapchat video shows Fucci and a friend in the back of a patrol car. This was during the search for Tristyn Bailey, hours before her body was found with more than 100 stab wounds on Mother's Day.
Tristyn, if you walk out the damn...
Fucci also snapped this photo. I spoke with Lori Osaki, who is a licensed clinical social worker.
It was very shocking. It was not matching the situation for sure. But sometimes that can be a sign of mental illness when someone doesn't react in a normal way or the opposite way we would expect.
2 days later, Fucci appears in court.
And you're for the record, sir?
Showing a quieter version of himself as he learns he is charged in connection to Bailey's murder. Fucci runs his hands through his hair, blinks his eyes, and appears to hold back tears.
It could have hit him and he's realizing the gravity of the situation. They could be tears for himself, that he's in trouble. It could be putting on an act. It's really hard to know.
He's a sociopath / psychopath. He's only putting on tears to basically, this is what sociopaths do. They don't have tears. They don't have no emotions. They don't care about nothing but themselves. They don't follow rules or whatever. So he's just doing that because he figures, oh, this is what I should do. And that's why he's doing it. It's not coming from the heart. He doesn't care. He doesn't care at all. Resume.
Until he's evaluated.
This court video shows him being indicted as an adult, as he's charged with first-degree murder. Showing little emotion, he only responds to the judge.
Do you understand the charge against you?
Yes, sir.
Wednesday's court video shows the most interesting version of Fucci. He mumbles about demons.
I won't let you demons. I won't let you demons take my soul. You demons want to take my soul away. I won't let you demons steal my soul.
His demeanor completely different from the day he was in the patrol car. Do you think at all that he might be faking it?
I can't really comment on that. I don't know him. I haven't evaluated him. All I can say is it's possible. For a child to fake like that would be a pretty tall order.
At this time, Fucci's lawyers have not filed a formal motion for a mental evaluation. Officials have not said.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just for a quick second, let me read the poll. Let's read the poll real quick. And I asked the poll, do you think this Pimple Face Killer would have done it again? And we have 26 votes. I love it. 26 votes. This is cool. This is so cool. All right, 26 votes. And 85% said, absolutely, Donna. Next choice was, no, I don't think so. That's 0%. And 15% says, I never heard of this case. Okay. So whoever didn't, if you want, just go into the description and get an idea of what's happening. Or if you've been following along, I think you got it by now, right? All right, let's get back to the Pimple Face guy. Resume.
If he does suffer from a mental disorder, his pretrial hearing that was scheduled for yesterday has now been moved to October 28th. Reporting live from downtown, Corley Peel, Channel 4. The local station.
Corley, do we know, was there any mention of demons before court yesterday?
This is the first time we heard Fucci talk about demons on record. However, court records show that he told his girlfriend in the past that he would hear voices in his head and they would tell him to kill people.
All right, Corley Peel reporting to us live. Thank you, Corley.
Tonight on the 10 o'clock news, the St. Johns County teen accused.
Chris, blessings to you and blessings to everybody that's coming in here. If I didn't call you, hugs and kisses and blessings to everybody. Let's get back to it. Soon we're going to get ready to hit. I'm just showing all these clips. Yes, I am. I want y'all to see what was happening in this case. And also I'm going to show the last court appearance he had when he basically, turned his plea from innocent to guilty. Yes, so we're going to watch that too. So just hang in there, ladies and gentlemen. Relax. If you have your cocktail, popcorn, water, crunch and munch, I don't know, whatever it is, just relax, okay? Let's get back to it.
accused of stabbing his schoolmate to death, says he wants to be moved out of the Duval County Jail. Right now, Aiden Fucci is locked up here in Duval County because St. Johns County doesn't have a juvenile wing in its jail.
Fucci is charged in the murder of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey. Her body was found in a wooded area of the Durbin Crossing neighborhood on Mother's Day of last year. News for Jack's anchor Janice Harris joining us now with details about the new motion filed by Fucci's defense. So, Janice, why does Fucci want to be moved?
Well, there are a couple of reasons, but they all focus.
Why do these monsters always feel like they entitled? He wants to be moved. Who cares about you? Did you care about... Did you care about Tristyn when you killed her? You laughed about it in the cop car. You didn't care nothing. But we're supposed to have sympathy for you. Pull out the violins for this nutcase right here. Let me see some violins and some purple hearts. Purple hearts and violins. Let's get it. Resume.
Focus on one particular thing. According to court documents, Fucci's attorney says that the teen wants to leave the jail or be given a less restrictive confinement while he waits for trial. This 5-page motion explains why Aiden Fucci wants to be moved out of the Duval County Jail. May 2021, Fucci was arrested for murdering his schoolmate, Tristyn Bailey. According to court documents, Fucci has been in a form of solitary confinement for over 400 days, with 3 exceptions, where he was in general population for 129 days. But that ended in May 2022. The motion filed by Rosemarie Peoples with the Public Defender's Office states Fucci is held in solitary for 24 hours a day and denied access to group recreation, education, can't eat meals outside of his cell, can't participate in religious services or...
Oh, poor baby. You can't eat. Oh, life is hard, huh? Monster. You dust bucket. Resume.
Jail programs. Fucci's defense attorney says extended periods of time can be harmful, citing Haney mental health issues and long-term solitary and supermax confinement 49 crime and delinquency documents. And it goes on to say it could result in sleep disturbances, anxiety, panic, rage, loss of control, paranoia, hallucinations, and self-mutilation. Local attorney Randy Reed, not affiliated with the case, says it might be something the judge won't enforce. What's the likelihood that a judge would approve this?
Well, I think you're going to find it's probably likely with beyond the scope of what a judge can do to tell the executive branch how to do their job. Specifically here, the sheriff of Duval County, as it turns out, is housing the young man, and it is his job to bring the defendant to trial safely. The judge's job is to make sure the courtroom is handled appropriately. He's probably not going to come out from behind the bench and rule that the sheriff should do it any particular way.
The motion states it is clear that the sheriff's intent to safely detain the defendant in the continued manner is
BG, you said so. I read that the father was very abusive. I never did look into the father. I didn't know this. Really? Because if I'm correct, the little bit I do know, I think he was living with the father. Then he moved with the mother to his location. With the mother, now he committed this crime. I have to look into the father. Thank you for sharing that. Interesting. So you probably have a narcissistic father. Okay. Explains a little bit more to this. Let's get back to it. Resume.
extreme mental anguish to an adult. Fucci will be back in court next month. Until a judge decides on the motion, Fucci will remain in solitary confinement at the Duval County Jail. Reap also said that
Chris says something powerful. We are all capable of love and hate. Some people just choose to be evil. Oh my gosh, so well said. I repeat, we are all capable of love and hate, but some people just choose to be evil. Resume.
That if the defendant shows up for trial and he has to effectively assist the defense, and if he has mental health issues, that could effectively delay the trial if there is a doubt in his ability to do that. Though Fucci is currently held in Duval, the motion would be heard in St. Johns County with Judge Arlie Smith. There is a status hearing on December 2nd, and jury selections for now is set to begin February 6th, 2023.
Digging into the reason for a defense request asking that 15-year-old accused murderer Aiden Fucci be moved out of the Duval County Jail. His lawyers have filed a motion asking he be allowed out of what has been a form of solitary confinement. Fucci is awaiting trial in the stabbing death of his schoolmate Tristyn Bailey on Mother's Day weekend last year. News4JAX reporter Ann Maxwell joining us live from downtown after speaking with an attorney who says, Ann, the solitary confinement could be detrimental to Fucci's development.
Yeah, Joy, and Fucci's attorney said in that motion their client has been in solitary here at the Duval County Jail for more than 400 days. They say that's psychological punishment, even though he hasn't yet been to trial.
Aiden Fucci has been awaiting his trial for murder for 18 months, and most of that has been served in the Duval County Jail. According to this motion filed by his attorney last week, Fucci has been alone in his cell there for 24 hours a day without access to group recreation, education, meals, and religious services. The motion cites more than 100 pages of literature about the effects of solitary confinement. Maria Morris is a senior staff attorney with the ACLU's National Prison Project.
400 days in solitary is torture for anyone.
Morris is not affiliated with Fucci's case, but Fucci's attorney.
Okay. Let's talk about torture. Torture is when you stab this girl 114 times. Let's get back to her, okay? That's torture. That's torture. 114 times. Who cares? Who cares what you're going through? I don't care. I don't have no sympathy. I don't have no remorse for this boy. Not at all. Not at all. Mad at the world because you're full of pimples. You thought you'd strike a deal with Satan to cure your pimples by killing this girl. You're a monster. You was like that since the day you was born. You bragged about you wanted to kill somebody. You sat there in the police car, you didn't care. But we're supposed to feel sympathy for you. I'm so tired of this, man. You just don't know. You just don't know. Alright, let's get back to it. Yes, I got a couple of clips. I know y'all. They was probably like, oh, I'm repeating clips. Yeah, I am. I want y'all to see what's happening. Yep. Because this really bothered me. Because I remember when this case first came out. And Lisa in the chat, Lisa knows. I kept talking about it. I was like, ooh, this Pimple Face Killer is driving me insane. I can't stand him. All right, let's get back to it.
Included this ACLU report in the motion. It says the solitary confinement of children is damaging to their psychology and development and can lead to long-term problems, even suicide.
And there's a growing consensus throughout the world that it's just not right.
According to the defense, Fucci was placed in solitary in May after receiving threats, and he'd previously spent time in isolation because of a disciplinary action in January and suicidal thoughts last year. The defense says Fucci should be moved to a different jail, or at the least, let out of solitary. Local attorney Gene Nichols, who also isn't associated with the case, says he thinks the court will rule on the defense's request quickly.
As long as we're not addressing some form of mental health defense, this should have no effect on the trial.
Right now, the trial is scheduled to begin in February.
Why would they be filing that now?
Couple of reasons. Number one, to bring attention to the
Hey, Pauline, I see you creeping through the back door, Pauline. Hugs and kisses to you. Hugs and kisses to you. Let's get back to it.
The fact that he is in solitary confinement, that he is in a room locked up by himself all of the time. try to invoke some form of sympathy for their client.
He also notes that if Fucci is having mental health issues because of his time in solitary, it could be a factor in the trial, although the motion doesn't include any evaluations of Fucci from mental health professionals.
We reached out to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, which runs the detention center here, for comment, but we've not yet heard back. Live downtown, Ann Maxwell, Channel 4, the local station.
Sheriff's Office in St. Johns County is firing back against accused killer Aiden Fucci's request to move jails, or at least out of solitary.
Along with mother, both being charged in a 13-year-old's murder case investigation.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have another article I'm going to read. I'm going to read a little bit about this mother, this trifling mother, and I'm going to get back to it, okay? Hang in there with me, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, where's this trifling low life? Oh, gosh. Alright, this article here. When did it come out? June 5th, 2021. And this is from the New York Post. Okay. Pimple Face, well, what their title is. Aiden Fucci's mom charged with evidence tampering in the murder of Tristyn Bailey. The mother of Aiden Fucci, Pimple Face Killer, the Florida teen who police said that savagely killed a classmate on May 9th, has been arrested and charged with tampering with evidence in the case against her son. This Pimple Face Killer, 14, is accused of stabbing cheerleader Tristyn Bailey, 13. Tristyn Bailey, she was 13 at the time, 114 times in a gruesome attack that horrified. Oh, okay, let me go back. I'm sorry now. Okay, a gruesome attack that horrified the nation. Now, authority says that his mother, Kristen Smith, that's the mother of the Pimple Face Killer, tampered with evidence in the case in an apparent attempt to cover up the murder allegedly committed by her son. She turned herself in to St. Johns County Sheriff's Office Saturday afternoon and is being held on $25,000 bail, according to the police statement. Citing a surveillance video taken during the murder investigation, a police report released that Saturday states that the defendant can be observed going to the Pimple Face Killer bedroom at approximately 12:55 p.m. Date unknown. Retrieving what appears to be a pair of the blue jeans, taking the jeans to the bathroom and appeared to be scrubbing the jeans in the bathroom sink. This trifling mother returned the jeans to the Pimple Face Killer's bedroom about a half an hour later, according to the reports. This Pimple Face Killer is being charged with first-degree murder and will be tried as an adult. He pleaded not guilty to the charges on Thursday and is scheduled to appear to a pre-trial hearing on July 28th. No more for me reading this one. All right, let's get back to the Let's resume back to this one, ladies and gentlemen. I just want to read that article real quick. Let's get back to it.
Crystal Smith, the mother of 14-year-old Aiden Fucci, was arrested in St. Johns County today. Smith is being accused of tampering with evidence in the murder of Tristyn Bailey. Smith was let out on bond less than 2 hours after she was booked into jail. News4JAX reporter Bree Isom spoke with a local attorney about this arrest. Bree, what is he saying?
So Gene Nichols, a local attorney, tells me that law enforcement has probably been taking a while to evaluate this case and question the mom. That's why it's been taking them so long to arrest her. 35-year-old Crystal Lane Smith was arrested and booked in the St. Johns County Jail Saturday morning at 11:50. Smith was charged with tampering with evidence, which is a third-degree felony in Florida. The arrest warrant says after Fucci went with investigators.
I probably need to loosen up a little bit. Chris says something that made me think. Still no. If we treat him like that, then we we become like him. You deserve to be punished, but not confined for 24 hours. You got a point. You have a point. I need to loosen up a little bit. I'm just so angry with it. You know, he's just a monster. But I see where you're coming from. It's just like, people like this, they just don't deserve no respect, you know? But I understand what you're saying, Chris. Thank you for putting that out there. Resume. Let's get back to it. And I'm enjoying everybody's feedback and engaging. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love feedback, hearing everybody's different opinions and what they have to say. I appreciate it. Let's get back to it. Resume.
On May 9th for questioning in Bailey's killing, Smith was seen on surveillance video inside her home washing Fucci's blue jeans, which later tested positive for blood. The drain in the sink where Smith was seen washing the jeans also tested positive for blood, according to the warrant.
As soon as his clothes made it to the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office and subsequently to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, it was evident to them that the clothes had been washed.
Gene Nichols, a local attorney, says the mother's arrest took so long because investigators were most likely questioning her. Nichols says although the mother was charged with a third-degree felony, he doubts anything will be done until Fucci's case is done.
She will present to felony court the same way her son did in front of a judge.
Nichols says he doubts the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office will give the mother prison time.
I am sure that Mr. Larizza's office recognizes that this was a mother trying to protect her child and made some very bad decisions in order to try to protect her child. Could she face a jail sentence? She could.
The jail website shows she was released on a $25,000 bond at 1:40 on Saturday afternoon. And coming up at 11, we went to Smith's house today. And coming up, it's all what we found there. I'm live in St. Johns County. Bree Isom, Channel 4, the local station.
14-year-old Aiden Fucci is going to be tried as an adult in Bailey's death. He has
live from the local station, News 4 Jax starts now.
The mother of a St. Johns County teen charged with killing his schoolmate is now charged with trying to cover up her son's crime. 35-year-old Crystal Smith was arrested over the weekend on a charge of tampering with evidence.
Her 14-year-old son, Aiden Fucci, is awaiting trial as an adult for first-degree murder in the stabbing death last month of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey. News 4 Jax reporter Corley Peel joins us live from the Duval County Jail where Fucci is being held to show us what a forensic psychologist is saying about Smith's arrest. Corley.
Aiden Fucci is being held here in Duval County Jail because this is where minors charged as adults stay, and his mom is accused of washing his blue jeans that had blood on them. And I spoke with a forensic psychologist who says it is natural for parents to want to help their children when they're in trouble, but he says many typically report the crime or evidence to police. The mother of accused teen killer Aiden Fucci is now also charged in connection to the stabbing death of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey. Crystal Smith is accused of tampering with evidence after washing a pair of Fucci's bloody blue jeans. I spoke with a forensic psychologist, Dr. Justin D'Orenzo, who is not affiliated with this case. Is this typical for parents to try and conceal their kids' crimes that they're accused of?
Sure. So typically the default mode for parents is reflexive, and it is to protect their children. But then after more thought, often it's really a question of family loyalty versus tough love.
Bailey's family reported her missing around 10 a.m. on Mother's Day, May 9th. A few hours later, this warrant shows detectives showed up to Fucci's home in the Durbin Crossing neighborhood. After Fucci left with deputies, investigators say Smith was seen on surveillance video inside the home, going to his bedroom, grabbing a pair of blue jeans, then scrubbing them in the bathroom sink. During an interview with his parents at the sheriff's office, Smith asked him if he was sure nothing was on them. He replied, "I think so. Why?" According to the warrant, Smith was then seen giving Fucci a questioning look and whispered, "Blood?"
I think she was overcoming doubt at that moment when she was challenging him about the blood, which is a normal response.
Despite the scrubbing, detectives say the jeans and the drain to the sink Smith washed them in tested positive for blood. According to the warrant, Crystal Smith told a witness who was also inside the home that she could get in trouble for washing the jeans. She is currently out on bond. Her son, Aiden Fucci, has pled not guilty to Tristyn Bailey's murder. And again, he is being held here in the Duval County Jail. We will continue to keep you updated about this case as more information unfolds. Reporting live, Corley Peel, Channel 4, the local station.
Tristyn Bailey in the hours before her death. This is the newly released evidence in the case against the teen charged with killing the St. Johns County teenager. The sheriff's office released those surveillance videos today as part of the investigation into Bailey's murder.
And they also shared footage from 14-year-old Aiden Fucci's home. Investigators say it's evidence in the case against him. News4JAX reporter Bree Isom talked with a local lawyer about this newly released evidence. Bree?
I did, and he says that this will be a long investigation, but he did say that this home surveillance video probably really helped in this investigation. This video at 12:15 a.m. on May 9th shows two people believed to.
Every time I look at this video, it's so sad. Just walking, they was probably walking and talking as teens, late night, just nothing really. You know how we as teens are, you know, just talking. And didn't know. In a few more steps, he was going to kill her. And she's going to be fighting for her life. This is so chilling, so chilling. Resume. I'm loving everybody's feedback. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Resume.
To be teens walking east on Saddlestone Drive. As to whether or not that is Aiden Fucci and Tristyn Bailey in this video, that is not confirmed. This was on Mother's Day, the same day investigators say Tristyn Bailey was found dead. The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office investigators say this video shows.
Chris, I understand. It really pisses you off. I remember when I first heard this, I was like, what? Mother's Day? Then when I saw this video of him running like this, are you kidding me? Then when I found out the mother washing it, I was done. I couldn't. All right, let's get back to it. Let me rewind this just a pinch because I really want y'all to see this clip.
Video shows Fucci running at 1:52 in the morning, so over an hour after two teens were spotted walking in the neighborhood. John Holzbauer, a law partner at the offices of Randy Reep, is not affiliated with this case, but looked over the surveillance video with me.
It's going to continue to take time. They're going to have to build this literally minute by minute.
Another video at 3:31 a.m. shows a boy walking to a door barefoot with a pair of shoes. Another shows what appears to be the same person walking up to the house. Just about 12 hours after Fucci was spotted running in the street, we see his mother, Crystal Smith, wash what investigators say are blue jeans.
Washing the evidence. Protecting her son. Yeah, I believe in protecting your children. I believe that strongly, but I just can't protect this kind of stuff. It's just not happening. No, it's not happening. Well, you know, I don't fault parents when their child turned out to be a monster because you could do everything for your children. You give them love, respect, you there for them, you guide them, you raise them in the church, all kind of things. You give them you do the best to give them a better life than you have, right? Because that's what parents are supposed to do. But sometimes your child is they just born evil and they turn to the devil's work. It is what it is. And that's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. But when you're doing stuff like this, when you're protecting them, like the Laundrie's family, parents, Brian Laundrie's parents, just like that Nathaniel Rowland, I did that Dusty Low Life, and the list goes on with these parents, they protecting their children. You know, stuff like this, I don't understand. It shows a lot about you, what type of person you are. What do you think? Do you agree with me or disagree with me? Tell me in the chat. Let's resume.
The arrest report states the jeans tested positive for blood. It also states the sink in the bathroom where we see Smith washing the jeans also tested positive for blood. Smith has been charged with evidence tampering in connection with this case.
Does that mean someone's trying to conceal evidence? That's a mother doing her son's laundry. At least that's what we see right now, just from the video without the added audio.
Holzbauer says all of the individuals in the house, which we have blurred, will be interviewed for detectives to discover what was actually said and done in the household that day.
How long do these cases usually take to work on it?
I wouldn't be surprised if this case is well over a year.
Now, coming up at 11, what this lawyer thinks will happen next.
This motion was the last line of defense. Just days away from jury selection and the start of trial, Aiden Fucci's attorneys asked for a continuance. It's based on the...
Now, this was just before the jury selection for the trial, so this is recent. Now we're getting up to more up to date. And I'm going to show you what happened when they went to court for the jury selection. Hope I'm saying it right, for the jury selection. So just hang in there. We almost done. Let's get it.
State asking for a 6-person jury, but the defense wants 12. It didn't get far.
When you reduce it from as charged, or reduce the number of jurors from 12 to 6, the number of current juries are reduced also.
That's not correct.
If your client is facing a life sentence, then he is still entitled to temporary challenges.
The defense filed a motion to the 5th District Court of Appeals. The 5th DCA asked for a response from the Attorney General in 20 days and would allow an extra 10 days for the defense to reply.
But the bottom line is, in order for them to, they would have to certify conflict with Wallet, which then means it would then have to go up to the Supreme Court. I would imagine that the state would then appeal it, so then we're looking at extending this trial and not being able to conduct this trial for quite a long time. And I'm just not willing to do that.
The defense argued this isn't something that takes years to resolve and says it's not something the DCA is taking lightly. The state says the defense didn't file this as what's called an emergency writ, and the defense acknowledged that.
So the state's now identifying that there's an error in defense counsel's filing before the 50 states, not identifying this as an emergency writ, and not identifying that the jury selection would be on the Monday. So rather than compound the error on counsel's work and pick a jury, I'm asking the court to stay the proceedings in light of what the 50C is doing at this time with their review.
The judge denied the motion, saying there's no harm to Fucci by going to trial now. He told the attorneys to get their jury instructions to him by Friday, and jury selection would start Monday.
Right now on News4Jax at 11, in less than 24 hours, jury selection is set to begin in the high murder against Aiden Fucci. Good evening to you. The St. Johns County teenager is charged with first-degree murder in the death of his schoolmate, Tristyn Bailey.
Bailey was found stabbed to death on Mother's Day in 2021. News4Jax reporter Ashley Harding spoke with an attorney about this case and what we can expect tomorrow.
Nearly 2 years after Tristyn Bailey was found murdered in her Durbin Crossing neighborhood, the trial against her accused killer, Aiden Fucci, is ramping up. But will it be delayed for a second time? That question centers around the defense's argument that Fucci entitled to a 12-member jury instead of the 6-member group the judge has already ruled on. Gene Nichols, a defense attorney not affiliated with the Fucci case, joined us on the morning show Sunday.
From your perspective as a criminal defense attorney, what would you say is the advantage of a 6-member jury?
Yeah, so the defense is going to want the 12, the state's going to want the 6. And the reason why the defense wants the 12 is because trying to convince 12 people to convict a child, even though he's being tried as an adult, of such a serious crime is not the easiest thing to do. And the defense has a better chance of getting somebody out of 12 instead of 6 to agree with them and either go with not guilty or hang a jury.
Even though Fucci's attorney has appealed the matter.
He does have a point. You got more of a better chance with 12 than 6. Resume.
to a higher court. Nichols believes unless the trial judge is ordered to stop the proceedings, jury selection will go on as planned. There's also the question of finding impartial jurors. Fucci's attorneys have already asked that the trial be moved somewhere else, citing extensive media coverage. The medical examiner determined the tip of his knife was found in Bailey's scalp. Investigators said other evidence, including blood and DNA, linked Bailey to Fucci. Nichols says jury selection will come down to finding people who can set aside what they know about the case and be open-minded.
What the problem will be in this case is it's a small community and many people have opinions about this case. And if you already have pre-developed opinions, then you're most likely not going to sit on this case. So that's why jury selection is going to be important. And while the defense
lithium.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be the oh gosh, the last time he appeared, excuse me. This is when the last time he appeared in court. And this is when he decided to change his change his plea to innocent to guilty. And the judge was shocked because it was like, oh, last minute. So let's watch this one. This one's kind of long here. So sit back and relax and let's see what Pimple Face Killer have to say. Let's get it.
All rise. St. Johns County Circuit Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Smith presiding.
Good morning, everyone. Please be seated. Thank you. All right, we're here on the case of State of Florida versus Aiden Fucci, case number 21 CF 825. Who have a hearing on behalf of the State of Florida?
Jennifer Dutton.
Mark Johnson.
And on behalf of the defense?
Rosemary Peoples and Craig Addick.
All right, and Mr. Fucci is also present here today as well. You can all be seated. We are here to begin our jury selection process. However, it's come to my attention that there may be a change of circumstances. Ms. Peoples, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
If you and your client could go ahead and approach the podium. Ms. Dutton, if you want to approach the bar.
I agree with you, Melanie. He did. I'm so glad he did, because to go through this trial and the parents have to hear what happened to their daughter, the gruesome way that she died, it would have been just too much. Just too much. All right, let's get back to it, because this is kind of long, so I'm going to try not to talk through it. I'm not going to talk through this one, so y'all can watch and listen to it. Resume.
All right, Ms. Peoples.
Your Honor, on behalf of Aiden Fucci, we enter a change of plea at this time, entering a guilty plea as charged.
And this is a straight plea to the court. In other words, this is not a negotiated plea. Is that correct?
Your Honor, we have presented several defense offers, and they've all been rejected by the state.
So it would be a straight plea to the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
State, can you make sure that you state for the record the possible penalties that Mr. Fucci is facing if he enters this straight plea?
Yes, Your Honor. He's facing a possible sentence of life imprisonment. The mandatory minimum would be 40 years. So similar to after trial, the range of exposure is 40 to life. He will be entitled to a review hearing after 25 years of serving any prison sentence, Your Honor.
Ms. Peoples, have you had sufficient time to talk with your client about this decision?
Yes, Your Honor.
In addition, are his parents aware of this decision, proposed, not this decision, but the proposed plea?
Both parents, yes, Your Honor.
And they've had an opportunity to consult with you as well as Mr. Fucci?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are there any other matters we need to address at this time before I place Mr. Fucci on the oath?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Fucci, if you could step over and speak into that, if you could address that microphone. Sir, if you'll raise your right hand, you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, sir, if you please state your name.
Aiden Fucci,
Mr. Fucci, how old are you, sir?
16.
How far did you go in school?
To 8th grade.
Are you able to read, write, speak, and understand the English language?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any medication, drugs, or alcohol right now?
Yes, sir. My medication, but
What type of medication are you taking?
Rimron, lithium, and Suprexa.
Is that medication prescribed by a physician?
Yes, sir.
And does that medication assist you in your ability to understand what's happening and going on around you?
Yes, sir.
Have you taken that medication today as prescribed by your physician?
Last night, sir.
Last night, is that when you were scheduled to take it?
Yes, sir.
All right. And is it in any way, shape, or form affecting your ability to understand what's going on here this morning?
No, Your Honor.
Do you feel clear-headed and clear-minded about what's going on here today?
Yes, Your Honor.
Have you ever been diagnosed with a mental health condition that could affect your ability to understand and comprehend what's going on today?
No, I don't believe so.
Your attorney has informed me that you'd like to enter a plea of guilty to the charge of first-degree murder. That is a sentence that is a crime which is punishable up to life in prison. The minimum sentence that the court could impose would be 40 years in prison. You just heard the state outline that range. Do you understand the range of possible penalties that you're facing if you enter this plea today?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that the minimum sentence that this court could impose for you would be 40 years in prison. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
And the court could impose all the way up to life in prison. Do you understand that as well?
I do, Your Honor.
And the way that this works is if the court were to sentence you to 40 years up to life, it would also be eligible for a review sentence of that sentence in 25 years. At that point, another body would then come back and review what we're doing here today, and they would look at that sentence and determine whether or not they should change that sentence. However, that's no guarantee as to what they're going to do. That's just something in the statute that requires another body to review this court sentence in 25 years. Do you understand that as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you any particular sentence that I might impose if you do this?
No, sir.
No one's said, hey, if you enter this plea today, the judge might, go lighter on you or anything like that? No one's promised you anything like that, have they?
No, sir.
You understand, again, I could give you 40 years up to life in prison.
Yes, I do.
You understand that today, we are here for jury selection. So we actually have members of St. Johns County who have reported to the courthouse today downstairs. They're actually waiting for us right now, and we were going to begin to select a jury to conduct a trial for you. You understand that you have the right to that jury trial?
Yes, sir, I do.
Your attorney had filed a motion, and we had a hearing a few weeks ago, I guess, where she had, the state had requested a 6-person jury, and your attorney requested a 12-person jury. Do you recall that hearing that we had on that?
Yes, sir.
And you also understand that right now your attorney has filed a motion to an appellate court, which is kind of a higher court above this court. And their responsibility is to review all of the decisions that go on here. And right now she's filed that appeal as to whether or not you were entitled to a 6-person or a 12-person jury. You familiar with all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you and she discuss the fact that by entering this plea today, you're kind of taking away that issue? In other words, there's not going to be an appeal anymore. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Once you enter this plea today, that's going to go away. You understand that as well?
Yes, sir.
Is anyone forcing you or threatening you in any way to get you to do this?
No, sir.
Has anyone promised you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, sir.
I I have a document here, it's called a plea form. It has the state of Florida versus your name and our case number. On the second page of this document, above the word defendant is a signature. Can you see that signature I'm pointing to? You
Yes,
have a
sir.
copy of it in front of you as well, is that right? Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
And by signing this document, are you indicating to me that you've read this document?
Yes, sir. I read it.
In addition to reading it, did you discuss it and talk about everything that's on it with your attorney?
I did.
Did she answer any and all questions about everything that's contained on this document?
Yes, sir.
There's a number of rights that you're giving up. I've already talked about them a little bit, but I want to talk about them again with you, okay? You understand again that you have the right to a jury trial. During that trial, you're entitled to be represented by an attorney. You've got attorneys who are appointed to represent you. They would have been with you throughout that trial. You have the right to compel witnesses to come in and testify on your behalf. You could have testified during that trial if you wished, or you could have remained silent throughout that trial. You could have required the state of Florida to prove this charge beyond a reasonable doubt. You could have presented evidence during that trial. You could have cross-examined any witnesses that the state might have called against you. And you also could have appealed your conviction and sentenced to a higher court. You understand, once I accept your plea today, there will not be a trial. We'll pass this matter off for sentencing, and you'll be giving up all of those rights that I just described.
I do, Your Honor.
Another matter that I want to address with you is another motion that we had previously discussed a couple of months ago, I believe, which was your attorney had filed a motion was called a change of venue. In other words, she wanted to have this trial conducted in a different county instead of St. Johns County. She was concerned about whether or not we would be able to impanel a fair and impartial jury. And if you recall, I ruled on that and I denied that motion. However, I stated that I would reconsider that if, after we had attempted to select a jury here in St. Johns County, if the court then determined that we could not find a fair and impartial jury for you, that we would move this to a different county. You understand that, again, once you enter this plea, that issue is not something that would be appealable anymore.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that now, that we're going to proceed here today with this plea, and so you'll be giving up that appellate right as well.
Yes, sir.
Have you had sufficient time to talk about this decision with your attorneys?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did you also get a chance to discuss it with your parents?
Yes, sir.
Have you also had sufficient time to talk with your attorneys about your case itself and any possible defenses that you might have raised through this charge?
Yes, sir.
I know that you were housed up in Duval County. Did that in any way preclude your ability to speak with your attorneys? Have your attorneys been able to meet with you and have conversations with you about your case?
They did.
Did you get to go over the evidence that the state has and that they've supplied in discovery? Have you discussed all that evidence with your attorneys as well?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you need any time at all, any more time at all to speak with your attorneys before I accept your plea today?
No, sir.
Are you satisfied with your attorney's representation of you?
Yes, sir.
Did your attorneys explain to you that if you were not a U.S. citizen entering this plea, could have subjected you to being deported from the United States?
Yes, sir.
And you've not ever previously been convicted of any type of sexually violent or sexually motivated crime, have you?
No, sir.
State, have you supplied the defense all of the discovery in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you aware of any physical evidence that can be tested for DNA that might exonerate this defendant?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Peoples, have you had sufficient time to review all the discovery and discuss it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you aware of any physical evidence that can be tested for DNA that might exonerate your client?
No, sir.
Statement of a factual basis, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about May 9th, 2021, in the county of St. Johns in the state of Florida, the defendant, Aiden Fucci.
Yeah, Rusty, but thank you for letting me know about this, that they're gonna have the sentencing. That's what I have to get to when the sentencing hearing, and I think about 12 people supposed to be. But yeah, he basically came to court and he changed his whole plea from innocent to not guilty. To guilty. Not guilty, excuse me. He changed it from not guilty to guilty. Yep. But thank you for letting me know about that, because now I can see what's going to happen at the sentencing. I want to hear what people have to say. I think he supposed to have like 12 witnesses or something like that. Something I read, I'm not sure. But just stay tuned for that, everybody. I will have another video follow-up on this. Resume.
He did unlawfully kill a human being, Tristyn Bailey, said killing being from a premeditated design to affect the death of Tristyn Bailey. And furthermore, during the commission of said offense, Aiden Fucci used a weapon contrary to Florida statute 78204, sub 1, sub A, and 775.087, sub 1.
Any objections or exceptions to factual basis?
For the purpose of the plea, yes, Your Honor.
You have exceptions or you do not?
No exceptions, accepting it for the purpose of the plea.
All right. I do find a sufficient factual basis for the charge of first-degree murder. Mr. Fucci, is it your desire to enter a plea of guilty to one count of first-degree murder?
Yes, sir.
I accept your plea. I find it's entered into freely, voluntarily, and intelligently, that you are coherent and alert, and that you understand the nature of the charges and the consequences of your plea.
I do.
We need to pass this matter off for a sentencing hearing. I know that this, we probably aren't ready to pick a date yet. Why don't we come back? Let's talk a little bit about what we need to do before we get to sentencing. So let me hear from the state.
Yes, sir. I think if we want to state a discovery deadline where both parties have to disclose any additional evidence for purpose of sentencing, any witnesses that have not already been disclosed, and then from there, set aside in February, if Your Honor would like, and probably pick a date sometime in February once we exchange those letters.
Pick a date for the sentencing out in March or April. Is that what you're suggesting?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Peoples, does that schedule work for you?
Yes, sir.
How long will both sides need to compile a list of witnesses to for the sentencing hearing
I
itself?
believe 10 days would be sufficient, Your Honor.
All right, so 10 days from today, both sides will tender a witness list and any other discovery that they intend to utilize. Obviously, if there are letters of impact statements, things of that nature, respect to anything of evidentiary value, that needs to be provided with 10 days. I'm also going to order a pre-sentence investigation. Ms. Peoples, are you requesting that as well?
Yes, sir.
In addition report, I believe you would be entitled to that, so we're going to order both of those reports. So then we'll get working on both of those.
Your Honor, I just a special request with that order that if the court could note to the meeting DJJ and to the, I believe it would be the sheriff's office, that defense counsel wants to be present for those interviews.
I will absolutely we will notify them as well that you should be present for those interviews. Mr. Fucci, your attorneys are going to be present with you, but there will be there's going to be a couple of reports that are going to be compiled for the court. They're going to be used as an aid to the court in order to determine what the appropriate sentence is. There will be someone who will come out and speak with you. Again, your attorneys will be present when that occurs. They may also speak to your family members, and then also the state and your attorneys, and also the victim's family members as well. So why don't we come back on February 23rd at 9 a.m. We'll call it a status, and at that time we will select the date for our sentencing hearing. How many days do you anticipate needing for the sentencing hearing itself?
2, Your Honor.
2 days?
On the state's behalf, I would say reserve one for us, plus whatever.
Okay. Well, we'll set aside, we'll find 2 days. You all tell me when you both will be ready, and then we will select those 2 days. And then any hearings or any motions that we need to address on February 23rd, we can address those at that time as well. And I believe that covers everything. Is there anything else we need to address from the defense?
Yes, Your Honor. A point of clarification that Mr. Fucci had said that he read it. I actually read it out loud to him. It's a minor point, but I just wanted to clarify that on the waiver form.
The plea form?
That's correct.
Okay.
And
so, Mr. Fucci, when I asked you about whether or not you read it, your attorney actually read the plea form to you. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
And she went over all those rights that I went over with you as well?
Yes, sir.
And she, again, answered any and all questions about everything that's contained on that document for you?
She did.
And your parents were also present during that conversation as well? Were they present as well?
No, it was a separate conversation with the parents.
Okay.
And Mr. Fucci just wanted to make a short statement.
I just want to say I plead not guilty, and that I'm sorry for the Bailey family and my family.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the way he sounded like he might have had just a pinch of remorse. But it's too late. Too late. So like just a little slight pinch. Just a slight pinch. But we're gonna see next time he go to trial. We're gonna see how he acts when everybody else have their their statements and oh gosh, I can't even say the name of it. What is it when people I get the impact statements, if I'm correct? Y'all can correct me in the chat. Let me know if I'm saying it wrong. This monster, so young, 14 years old, stabbed this 13-year-old girl, your classmate, 114 times. Are you flipping kidding me? You know what? But I hate to say it. Maybe he just sound like that because due to the fact that he got caught, he's just like, hey. But he would have did it again. He was bragging about too much about killing people, and he had those pictures in his room, those violent, vicious pictures of with women and stuff. So, nah, I take back what I said. You don't have no remorse. It's a bunch of bull crap. Let's resume.
There'll be an opportunity, obviously, at sentencing hearing to speak again at that time. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Any other matters we need to address? Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
No, sir.
All right. Well, we're adjourned. We'll see you back here February 23rd at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Court is adjourned.
Nah, I retract what I said, Marley. I think it's just an act. Because all that crap that he was talking and the way he acted in that police car. I'm sorry about killing somebody before he killed someone and stabbed them 114 times. Ladies and gentlemen, just take your hand and your arm and act like you stabbing somebody. Can you do it 114 times? You're going to be exhausted. You have to have complete rage. You have to have complete anger. You have to have the devil in you. Yep. Let's get back to it. And welcome, Marlene. Now let's get back to it. Exactly, Marlene. There's no other way to describe it but a psychopath, right? You have to be a psychopath. Sociopath / psychopath. How do these defense attorneys cover these people? I don't know how they could do it. I mean, I know everybody's entitled to a lawyer. You know what I mean? We want to be entitled to it. And if you can't afford one, someone to be appointed to you, right? So that's important. But the thing that just trips me out about it is when you see the evidence of them actually killing the person. I mean, it's all this evidence, the DNA evidence. You got the video cameras. You got the ping towers of the cell phone. I mean, all this stuff. How do you defend them? I mean, and then if you do, let's say some reason you get them off for something that you know they did because the evidence point to, but you were so good and so savvy and so charming to the jury that you actually got them off. How do you sleep at night that you let go a killer, a rapist, a drug dealer? I mean, whatever it is. How do you do it? That's just deep. Yeah, the 23rd, and I'm gonna cover that one. If I'm working from home and it's live, I'll do it in a daytime live. If not, I'll show the video at the evening time, but I want to see that. I think they said it's going to be 2 days, Melanie. I think they said about 2 days. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, another one of Satan Jr.'s running around out here. How could you ever rehabilitate Andrea, and welcome. How could you rehabilitate a person, someone? Wait a minute, hold a second. Let me see this. I think this is my last video. No, I do have another one.
Aiden Fucci's.
All right. This another video. This is gonna explain, with him pleading guilty. All right, someone like that. I don't think it's possible. It's just not possible, Adrian. It's just not. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. All right. And Pauline says, evil doesn't have an age limit. Oh yes. His only remorse is being caught. Well said. Melanie says he is heavily medicated now. You know what? True, because the way he's acting, he is drugged up. He had me fooled for a quick second just now. Not no more. Only for a second you had me, just for a second. All right. He is heavily medicated now. He is still looking at 40 years locked up. Okay, Marlene. What does Marlene have to say? There is no rehabilitating, I guess, him. That level of rage, they are beyond help. Yep. Melanie says, yes, Donna, it's hard. I couldn't do it, but I sure am glad that there are those that do. If not, what makes our system superior to Russia, Turkey, Iran, and so on? Ooh, deep, deep, deep. All right, let's get back to it. Let's see the response after him pleading, guilty, after he changed his plea to guilty from not guilty. Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm almost done. Just hanging there. I'm about to let y'all go. Let's get to it. I've been wanting to report this for a long time. I was waiting for this trial, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I was going to report this trial so bad. But it's not going to happen. And you know what? I'm glad they're not, because wasting taxpayers' money, one. And number two is, this beautiful angel, and her parents have to hear the horrific way that their angel died. Yep. They have to hear this. Let's get back to it. Resume.
Penalty phase is next. The judge is reviewing when that will be. Under Florida law, Fucci faces 40 years to life in prison, but will have the opportunity to have his case reviewed in 25 years. News 4 Jax reporter Vic Micolucci looks at the teen killer's potential punishment.
Fucci pleaded guilty to a heinous crime, waiving his right to a trial. That means the next step for him is the penalty phase, where a judge will determine how long he'll spend behind bars for killing Tristyn Bailey.
You'll be giving up that appellate right as well.
Yes, sir.
It was not something the courtroom was expecting, as now 16-year-old Aiden Fucci stood before the judge and pleaded guilty, at the same time apologizing to Bailey's family. This was a surprise for many people. We were gearing up for a trial.
Chris, I don't know how long he known her. I just know they was classmates. But I do remember I didn't get a chance to find some videos, but maybe I'll do it the next time I do commentary on this one. But there was, some evil students on social media saying, oh, Tristyn Bailey deserved it. She deserved it. It was just a bunch of young teen incels that's just jealous because they can't pull the pretty, good-looking cheerleader. They want the pretty cheerleader, the head cheerleader, and they can't have them. So these little young teen incels are jealous. So they was mad, So they was happy that, what Aiden did. See, that's sick. And I think they wanted to do something like press charges or something to these kids that was doing these little, little hate stuff on social media. If I found out my child was doing that, putting these little comments on social media, oh, it's going to be a problem. Oh, it's going to be a problem. There's a bunch of little incels that just jealous because they can't have the pretty girl. They can't have the pretty girl. They want the pretty girl. They so upset. All right, let's get back to it.
Trial, and then on the morning of jury selection, we get that plea. Is that out of the ordinary in cases like this?
It is pretty rare. You know, if you're setting a case for a jury trial and the jurors are coming in, you've told the judge that, you move for change of venue, and then while all those jurors have been brought in, you enter a plea. You know, why do it at the last minute? Obviously, there must have been some change of heart by the defendant to feel like that was in his best interest.
Curtis Fallgatter is a former federal prosecutor who's now a defense attorney, not affiliated with this case. He says Fucci and his lawyers may have realized with such mounting evidence, a guilty plea may benefit the teen in the long run. Without a trial, the case is now in the hands of Judge Lee Smith, who...
Yeah, Marlene, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful young lady. She had a bright future ahead of her. And these little incels, those type of guys, you know those type that we, was growing up in school, and even as adults, and to this day, they could be 50, 60 years old. They just mad because they can't get those girls. They can't get the pretty girls. They so upset. It is what it is. We all get rejected. And this is what they do. Yep, bye. All right, what Chris has to say over here. Let me read Chris' comment before I resume. Those attorneys talked him into pleading out. Oh, they told him to apologize to the family. I would be kicking some if I caught anyone bullying someone, let alone grieving parents or a dead child. Exactly. Oh, it was a lot of bullying, I heard. I wasn't able to find those clips, but maybe next time I'll be able to find those clips. But they was out here like, oh, it's good what happened to her. Because they was just jealous. Just jealous because they couldn't get the pretty girl. That's what it was. They was just jealous. What do you mean? You happy about what happened to her? She deserve it. All of them. It was a lot of kids was on social media, Chris, was saying that she deserved it. They didn't feel no remorse. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. They need to be, not saying you locking them up and put them in jail, but maybe they need to get some sort of community service or something. They should be held responsible for what they said online. Are you kidding me? You encouraging it? You saying, these little kids are saying it's okay that she got stabbed 114 times? Are you kidding me? You gotta be, no, not my child. Ooh, it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. There was a lot of things, Chris, on social media. A lot of things they were saying. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'll see if I can find it. All right, let's get back to it. Resume.
Will rule on Fucci's sentence. Because of his age, Fucci is not eligible for the death penalty, but faces 40 years to life in prison. Under Florida law, he can request a review of his case after 25 years, with a chance of resentencing. Is it likely that Aiden Fucci doesn't spend the rest of his life behind bars?
I would think, again, that's one of the factors. Why do you plead the case out? Because you're hoping a quarter century from now, the judge will say, well, at least the young man pled out and saved us all the time, effort, and stress, so, I'll give him a bit of a break. But, again, when you juxtapose that with how serious the crime is, what's the chance of a judge letting him out at 25 years? I wouldn't think it's very great.
In court, Fucci and his attorneys waived the right to appeal this part of the process by entering that plea, but they could still appeal the sentence if they feel it isn't fair.
They're not giving up their right to appeal the sentence, so if the judge were to impose a life sentence and they want to appeal that and say it's too harsh, they can do that.
So far, Judge Smith has not set a sentencing date, but when it is set, it'll likely take about 2 days. The state and Bailey's family.
In a dramatic and unexpected turn of events and on the heels of jury selection, Aiden Fucci pleaded guilty to first-degree murder, admitting he
Tonight on the 10 o'clock news, new court documents shed light on accused killer Aiden Fucci's time in jail.
Now to new information in the case of a teenage murder suspect. Aiden Fucci's parents were in court today to get a new attorney for him. Their son is accused in the stabbing death of a St. Johns County cheerleader. 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey died nearly 2 weeks ago. On your side's Jessica Clark has been following this case closely. She joins us now with the new developments. Jess?
Yeah, Heather, as of today, Aiden Fucci's original attorney is out, and Aiden Fucci is getting a team of attorneys from the public defender's office.
Aiden Fucci, the teenage murder suspect, was not in the Zoom court hearing.
St. Johns County cheerleader. 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey died nearly 2 weeks ago. On your side's Jessica Clark has been following this case closely. She joins us now with the new developments. Jess?
Yeah, Heather, as of today, Aiden Fucci's original attorney is out, and Aiden Fucci is getting a team of attorneys.
Okay, just one more clip. I know this is from before he pleaded, he finally pleaded guilty. But just watch this clip a little bit more about the parents of how they, if I'm correct, it's the parents, how they was able to get a public defender so they didn't have to pay nothing. Let's get it. They want our taxpayers to pay for it. Resume.
From the public defender's office.
Aiden Fucci, the teenage murder suspect, was not in the Zoom court hearing, but his parents were. First item of business, Anwar Snober, the private attorney who represented Fucci in his first appearance last week, was in court Thursday, officially asking to be taken off the case.
And I'll grant your motion to withdraw at this time, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
The second item of business, Fucci's parents and their finances. They both asked.
You heard the attorney wanted out of this case. He wanted out. He was like, I don't want to do this one. And the judge was like, I understand. All right, let's get back to it.
The judge to be declared indigent. That means they cannot afford an attorney for their son, Aiden. And with this murder case, the legal fees are expected to be hefty. A little background here. Fucci's parents are not married. The teenager lives with his mother and her partner in the high-end Durbin Crossing neighborhood. But state statute says property is not considered when qualifying for indigency. And Thursday, the judge wanted to know more about Fucci's father's finances.
And are you employed?
Yes, ma'am. I'm self-employed, but since this, the company has took a down sports fall.
Okay, so that your company is just your only source of income?
Yes, ma'am.
Both of Fucci's parents were then deemed indigent, and because of that, the judge appointed the public defender's office to represent the 14-year-old.
Well, thank you, Your Honor. Actually, we're going to have a team of attorneys representing Aiden Fucci. We're glad you did that, Your Honor. It's a privilege to represent young Mr. Fucci.
The public defender says he expects his team to put in hundreds of hours into Aiden Fucci's defense. The issue of charging him as an adult is still up to the state attorney's office. Jessica Clark, First Coast News, back to you.
And developing tonight, new video released in the case of 14-year-old Aiden Fucci. In the moments before and after, police say he stabbed 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey to death in May.
We received a series of videos late this afternoon, including those from inside Fucci's Durbin Crossing home, which show what detectives say is Fucci's mom washing blood off of his jeans.
On your sides, Robert Bradfield is live tonight in the newsroom looking through that video as prosecutors build a first-degree murder case against the St. Johns County teenager. Robert.
Well, good evening. That video inside Fucci's home is about 16 minutes long, but we're going to show you just the first part, which shows his mother, Crystal Smith, walking into an upstairs bathroom. And that is where the state's attorney says Smith is seen cleaning her son's bloody jeans. When officers went into the home, they found a pair of wet jeans in Fucci's bedroom. And as we reported earlier this summer, the jeans and a drain in a bathroom tested positive for blood. Smith was arrested in June. She is charged with evidence tampering. Now, other video released today shows who detectives believe are Fucci and Bailey walking in their neighborhood on the morning of May 9th, the last time Bailey was seen alive. Later that morning, a person who is believed to be Fucci is also seen returning to his home wearing a sweatshirt and holding white shoes matching the same description that was also caught on another home surveillance camera earlier that night. Now, Fucci is charged with first-degree murder and Bailey stabbing death. He's pled not guilty. Coming up tonight at 11, we are talking with an expert in juvenile law about how the release of this new evidence could affect the jury's verdict in this case. In the newsroom, Robert Bradfield, First Coast News, on your side.
Aiden Fucci's mental health. Will it be an issue at his sentencing for the horrific murder of Tristyn?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end. I'm not going to show more clips. I think you all got the gist of everything. The other ones is going to be kind of repeating everything that we've seen. And I kept y'all here forever, you know. But thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging. Let me go back a little bit on these comments here. Let me go back. Something is said. BG says something. Wonder why he targeted her. I just feel that it was just basically he was going to target anybody. He just chose her. And it could be because she's beautiful. She's popular. And he's an incel. And he can't get her. So he was mad. He was like, I'm going to kill her. One of those sick type people. Alright, Marlene said the attorney didn't want no part of this. I don't blame him. Yep, exactly. And it's sad. This is really sad what happened to this girl. You know, it should have never happened to her. It really shouldn't have. You know, I really do feel sorry for her. I mean, I feel sorry for the parents of what happened. They lost their beautiful angel. Their child. Their child. You know, this is their child. That had, you know, hopes and dreams. She had a future ahead of her. And this Pimple Face Killer right here took it away. This Pimple Face Killer took it away. He was talking for weeks about how he was going to kill somebody and drag him somewhere and kill him. And unfortunately, she was the one. And he sat up in the police car. You know, hey, have you all seen Tristyn? You know where Tristyn at? He thought it was cool. What a shame. What a shame. See? The popular cheerleader. You know, the pretty girl. And these incels, they hate the fact that they can't get them. And he used this 114 times. Yep. She fought, though. She fought. And I feel sorry for her parents. They hurt. They hurt. They lost their angel. They lost their angel. The hands of this Pimple Face Killer. Yep. So let me just close out with these comments here, and I'm gonna let you all go. And like I said, I will do an update on it because when they go back for the sentencing. So if it's a day that I'm working from home, I'll, you know, do in the daytime if it's live or whatever. But if not, I'll do it in the evening time, and we can go from there. Where am I at with the comments? I apologize. Oh my gosh. I think I don't know where I think I did. Yeah, look at the area. The neighborhood amazing, but they don't have no money, right? So they want to use our taxpayer money to get a public defender. Yeah, really. All right. Chris said that room is better. My gosh, teach your kids to pick up the toys. Exactly. That was insane. That's insane. Looking at that room. Okay. I might be too far to come, I don't know. Lying in a court about being poor. Yeah, they don't want to pay for it. You caught that, right? You caught that, right, BG? You caught that. Chris says, and not to kill people. Melly says, money at the public defender's office. Okay, Marlene says, have no idea, Melly, but they will be paid. Chris says he wanted to take her lights because he lives in darkness. Woo, chilling. Rusty says, yes, Donna, you kept us here and abused us. You think me? Well, you the one sending me that message. You know what I'm saying? So you did it. It's all your fault. It's all your fault. You sent me the message. I was like, yes, I got to do this today. But thank you, Rusty. Thank you being mod on deck. Thank you, thank you. And Pauline, what Pauline had to say is, thank you, Dawn, and wishing everyone a safe and blessed upcoming week. Yes, to everybody. And Chris says, have a blessed night, everyone. Rest in peace, Tristyn. You deserve so much better. Oh, gosh, I feel like crying. This is so sad. I'm so tired of these people like this. There's so many devils out here. Renee, thank you for the video. And we're going to have a moment of silence. I'm going to let y'all go. Let me just close out these comments and real quick. All right, tragic news. And let's have a moment of silence, ladies and gentlemen. And prayers and blessings to the family that lost their angel. Well, at least they don't have to deal with going to the trial and hearing the horrific way that she died. So it gives them a little bit of relief, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I'm saying the right words. But Mother's Day is coming up. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not going to be good for them. What I tell y'all? What I always say to y'all? It's the holidays. These monsters always want to act up. These Dusties, these lowlife, Satan Juniors, Satan daughters. It's always on the holidays. All right. Rest in peace, Angel. Moment of silence, everyone. And thank you for coming. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for hitting the like button. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sending blessings to the channel. I appreciate donations and all of that. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for some more Donna Just Being Real. Moment of silence, ladies and gentlemen.